Today we will start the computer networks lecture. The code is ICTC 2201.03. Now the thing is, since you are in the second year, this may be a new module for you. I mean, there may be not sufficient background knowledge regarding this module. That is okay, but you can start from today onwards to learn about the computer networks, right? Let's see the module overview first. When you complete this module, you can complete 3 credits. And these are the learning outcomes you should complete by completing this module. First, we will learn the different categories of communication system and in their role in real world connectivity. With that, we will learn deeply regarding the terminologies in the computer networks. This is the assessment criteria. There will be two. The assessment criteria is divided into 2. First one is formative assessment. That means you should complete the activities during the semester. Then you can complete 40% by completing the formative assessment. Then in the formative assessment, under the formative assessment, there will be 2 assignment submission. First submission is the mid-examination paper and it will be due on 8th week. And with that, you can complete 10% from the total module mark. The second formative assessment is, it's like giving a solution for a given scenario. And you should write a report, plus you should implement the solution, network solution, using the packet tracer. And it will be due on 13th week. With that, you can complete the 30% from the total module mark. Then the summative assessment covers 60%. Again, it's a end semester examination. 3-hour structured question paper will be there. And I'll give a sample, that means a model paper before the examination. So if you have any question regarding the assessment criteria, you can ask. The thing is, every assignment is individual works, right? You cannot discuss with your group, with the batchmates, but the submission will be individual and the submission should be unique, and I will count the plagiarism as well. So if you copied from anyone, then the marks will be reduced. Is there any question regarding the assessment criteria? No. No. This module is actually, it's easy, and I'll help you. And if you need to contact me, you can call me, or else you can WhatsApp me and send me emails regarding subject matters. I'll help you, right? Then no need to worry about that, the depth of this module. So today we will start the lecture, and the first lecture covers the basic concepts. I mean, during the first lecture, you will learn what is the communication, what is the network, like this, right? So first of all, these are the content of the today's session. First, we will learn what is the data communication, and then we learn the basic building block of a communication system, and we will learn the data flow types. With that, we will learn what is the communication, computer network, and computer network types. And if you want to suggest a network solution for an organization, what are the factors to be considered? We will learn these things today. Okay, so I'll start from the beginning, from the scratch. Let's see first data communication. What do we mean by data communication? Now let's forget about the data. What do we mean by communication? මොකක්ද communication එකක් කියන්නේ? sannivedanaye කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? What do we mean by communication? Let's say I'm talking to you, right? I'm talking to you. It's a communication. Now let's say you are sending an email to your friend. Again, it's a communication. The person or the device who send the information, we call that person as a sender. Now I'm talking to you. Now who is the sender? And then ඔයාලත් එක්ක කතා කරනවා. කවුද sender?
Madam.
Yes. Then there should be a receiver as well. Sometimes we call the receiver as destination. Sender as source, right? Sender, we call the word as source, and the receiver, we call the word as destination. Every time when we make sure the communication, there should be a source and also there should be a destination. The person or the device which is sending, sharing information, we call that as source or sender. And the person or the device who is receiving the information, we can call that person or the device as the destination. So if you want to make sure any communication, there should be a source as well as there should be a destination. Now, these represent data communication mean sharing data among source and the destination. Source and the destination. Now let's say, according to this diagram, it represents how any communication can be happen. So there should be a sender and or source, and also there should be a destination. Now let's say I'm communicating with you. Now I'm the source, now you are the destination. So when I communicate with you, let's say I'm talking. The thing I'm talking, we can call it as the message or the data, right? Message. And when I'm talking with you, I'm using some language, or now I'm using my voice. We can call it as a medium. So every time when we make sure any communication, there should be a medium. Medium එකක් තියෙන්න ඕනම communication එකට. මාධ්‍ය. එහෙම නැත්නම් අපි communication එක කරද්දී පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ මොන වගේ platform එකක්ද කියන එක තමයි මේ medium එක කියන්නේ. So let's say I'm sending an email to my friend, right? Now when I send the email, I'm logging to the internet using the Wi-Fi. So let me know who is the sender. So you can put your idea in the chat, right? Who is the sender? Okay. Now who is the receiver or the destination? Yes. Then what is the message? What is the message? I'm sending an email. Yes, the email is the message. And what is the medium? Yes, it's the Wi-Fi connectivity. So you should think, let's say you want to find the medium. Let's say I'm posting a mail via the registered post to my friend. So I am the sender and my friend is the receiver. When the letter is delivered, it will use some it may be handovering one by one. It may be delivering the mail or the delivering the letter through the train. Likewise, the medium means how we transport our message. What is the transport mechanism we use? We call it as a medium. So when we send an email, we are using some network connection, right? Let's say I'm logging to the internet using Wi-Fi. Now it's the medium. Next one is protocol. Let's say I'm talking to you using Chinese, right? Chinese. Then the language which I'm using to talking with you cannot be identified by yourself. Cannot be. The reason is you do not know the Chinese, right? For a successful communication, both source and the destination should be aware of the message, how the message reads, how the message is created. It should be known by both party. I mean, it should be known by source and the destination. Otherwise, message cannot be read both parties by both parties. Then message එකක් යවනකොට දෙගොල්ලන්ට මේ කියන්නේ sender-ටත් receiver-ටත් තේරෙන්න ඕන. Then අපි හිතමු I'm communicating with you using Sinhala, right? If you want to understand what I say, you should know Sinhala language, right? Likewise, for a successful communication, both source and the destination should have a knowledge regarding the message, how the message reads. To do that, we are using some rules. අපි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් දැන් අපි මම හිතමු මම ඔයගලත් එක්ක සිංහලෙන් කතා කරනවා. Now let's say you can understand, right? The reason is you know what is this word say, what is this word meaning. Likewise, what is the meaning of this word? Likewise. දැන් මේ සිංහලෙන් කතා කරද්දී ඒක තේරුම් ගන්න නම් ඔයගලන්ට සිංහල කොහොමද හැදිලා තියෙන්නේ, අකුරු කොහොමද හැදිලා තියෙන්නේ, වචන කොහොමද හැදිලා තියෙන්නේ, language එක ගැන idea එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒ language එක එක එක්කෙනාට වෙනස් නෙමෙයි, හැමෝටම පොදු විදිහකට තමයි යන්නේ. එහෙමනම් මේ language එක හැදිච්ච විදිහක් තියෙනවා. හැදිච්ච rules ටිකක් තියෙනවා, නීති කට්ටලයක් තියෙනවා, නීති සමුදායක් තියෙනවා. We call it as actually in here, in the computer networks, rules we are using to read the message, we call it as protocol. Protocol, right? Is it clear? So for a successful communication, protocols, same protocol should be used by the source and the destination, and the message should be read by both parties, and there should be a medium, and there should be a sender as well as the receiver. Is it clear?
Yes, madam.
Yes, ma'am. Over there, can. Clear the ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවා නම් අහන්න. Okay, thank you. Now we discussed about the components of a data communication system. the person who sent the information, we call it as a source, and the source sometimes we call it as the sender, transmitter as well. And the person or the device who received the information, we call it as the destination. And there should be a path, we call it as a medium, and there should be a protocol. Protocols. Actually, protocol means rules, right? Rules වලට තමයි නීති වලට තමයි protocol කියන්නේ. හැබැයි මේ නීති පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ මේ device දෙකක් අතර communication එකක් වෙද්දී. Communication එක වෙන්නේ කොහොමද? Message pass වෙන්නේ කොහොමද? Message කියවන්නේ කොහොමද? මෙන්න මේ හැමදේම එකින් එක define කරපු නීති තමයි මේ protocols කියන්නේ. Right? Okay. Now, let's see the direction. Now, we are sending information from one point to another point. We are sharing information between source and the destination. Now, let's see the direction. How the data is flowing between the source and the destination. We'll see that, right? Generally, the communication between two devices, the flow of communication between two devices can be in three types. Samanin devices dekak අතර data communicate වෙන විදිහ. ඒ කියන්නේ flow එක වර්ග තුනක් යටතේ අපිට discuss කරන්න පුළුවන්. Now let's see. This is my device. And this is another device, the flow. Flow means data එක මේ පැත්තට යන්නේ, data කොහොමද යන්නේ, data ගමනාගමනය කරන්නේ කොහොමද කියන එක වර්ග තුනක් තියෙනවා. First one is simplex. Simplex means we can transmit only for one direction at a time. එක වෙලාවකදී එක පැත්තකට විතරයි යන්නේ. එක හරියට දැන් මෙහෙම හිතමු. Now I am delivering the lecture. I'm the only one who speak now. You are listening. Likewise, only one person speak. Other person is listening. We call it as simplex. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් computer එකේ keyboard එක අපිට ගන්න පුළුවන් simplex කියලා. දැන් ඔයාලා මොන හරි type කරනවා. ඒ type කරන එක පැත්තකට විතරයි යන්නේ. දැන් අපිට බෑ display screen එකේ display වෙන එක keyboard එකෙන් බලන්න බෑ. keyboard එකෙන් type කරන එක ඕන display screen එකේ display කරගන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ කියන්නේ එක පැත්තකට විතරයි, only one direction. The data is flowing only for one direction. Right? The second one is half duplex. Let's see about the half duplex. In the half duplex, both person can speak. දෙන්නටම කතා කරන්න පුළුවන්. But at the time, only one person will speak. Half duplex එකේදී දෙන්නටම කතා කරන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි එක වෙලාවකදී එක්කෙනයි කතා. ඔන්න දැන් අපි හිතමු පළවෙනි තප්පරේදී මෙන්න මේ A device එක කතා කරනවා. පළවෙනි තප්පරේ. එයා කතා කරලා ඉවර වුණාම B කතා කරන්න ගන්න. Right? That means both person can speak. That means both end can transmit information, but at a time only one device will transmit the information. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් walkie talkie එකේ එක්කෙනෙක් කතා කරලා ඉවරනම ඊළඟ කෙනාට කතා කරන්න පුළුවන්. හරි? simplex එකේදී එක්කෙනාටයි කතා කරන්න පුළුවන්. දෙන්නටම කතා කරන්න බෑ. එක්කෙනාටයි කතා කරන්න පුළුවන්. එයාට විතරයි information share කරන්න පුළුවන්. අනිත් කෙනා හැමතිස්සෙම listening විතරමයි. Now let's see the full duplex. Full duplex. In the full duplex, both speakers can speak at the same time. At the same time, both end can speak and listen, right? It's like the communication using your telephone. Both person can speak, right? Both ends can transmit information, and also both end can listen what other shares, right? Is it clear? Is it clear? Okay. Now let's see what is a computer network. Network. What is a network? What is the meaning of the network? What do you mean by network? By a network, not a computer network. What do you mean by a network? Your batch is also a network. You share the information between batchmates, right? Network means it's a collection. It may be a collection of devices, collection of people, but every person or every device share the information with the others. In the computer network, it means collection of computing devices. Collection of computing devices which are sharing information between them. Computer network එකක් කියන්නේ computing devices කිහිපයක එකතුවක් තිබ්බට බෑ. ඒගොල්ලන් එක්කෙනාට එක්කෙනා information share කරගන්න ඕන. දැන් අපි හිතමු I have 5 computers. But within the devices, they do not share information. Then it cannot be a computer network, right? It cannot be. If it is a computer network, they should be able to communicate the information each other. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, madam. It was clear.
Okay. Now the thing is, I use the word as computing devices, right? This is the word computers or computing devices. Network එක තියෙන්නේ computing devices කියන එක මම කිව්වා. Let's see what are the computing devices, right? If it is a computing device, the device should be able to transmit as well as receive the information. Computing device එකක් වුණාම එයාට පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕන information වෙන කෙනෙක්ට යවන්න, ඒ වගේම එයාට ලබා ගන්න, සහ එයාට පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕන information තමන් ඇතුළේ process වෙන්න. Right? So the computer simply we can identify as a computing device. Your smartphone, it's a computing device. Your smartphone can receive the information and also can transmit the information, and also the data can be processed, right? Now let's say the scanner. Is it a computing device? Scanner එකක්. Computing device එකක්ද? Scanner එකදී වෙන්නේ scan කරන එක විතරයි මොනවා හරි image එකක් scan කරලා computer එකට යවනවා. නමුත් computer එකේ තියෙන එකේ computer එකේ තියෙන මොනවා හරි image එකක් scan එකෙන් ආපස්සට hard copy එකක් බවට පත් කරන්න බෑ. දෙපැත්තට වැඩ කරන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ කියන්නේ only එක්ක receive කරනවා එක්ක එහෙම නැත්නම් transmit කරනවා. ඒ වගේවට අපි කියන්නේ නැහැ computing devices කියලා. So can we consider the printer as a computing device? Printer. No, because it only flow the data only from one direction. If it is a computing device, it should work as it should be able to communicate with another device using the full duplex way, right? Full duplex විදිහට communicate කරන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕනි. Computing device එකක් නම්. Now let's see, in computer networking, the computing devices, to identify the computing devices, we use a term as node. සාමාන්‍ය computer network එකකදී ඕනම device එකක් අඳුන ගන්න පාවිච්චි කරන term එක තමයි node එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ. Node. එහෙමත් නැත්නම් host. These two words we use to identify a computing device in the network. Network එකක් ඇතුලේ තියෙන computing device එකක් අඳුන ගනිද්දී පාවිච්චි කරන generic. කියන්නේ සාමාන්‍ය වචනේ තමයි මේ node එක. එහෙමත් නැත්නම් host එක කියලා කියන්නේ. Right? Then your mobile phone, your smartphone, if it is a smartphone, again it's a node. Right? In a computer network, the most important factor we should consider is data transfer rate. Network වලදී අපි ගොඩාක්ම සැලකිලිමත් වෙන කාරණේ තමයි data transfer rate එක. Then අපි දැන් මෙහෙම හිතමු. I want to share a file with another friend using the Bluetooth, right? Bluetooth හරහා මට information එකක් share කරන්න. සමහරක් වෙලාවට ඔයාලා Bluetooth use නොකර ඒ වෙනුවට වෙන application එකක් use කරන්න පුළුවන්. Reason එක මොකක්ද? What is the reason? What is the reason? Students?
It can be
What is
more fast or reliable than Bluetooth?
Actually, no. The reason is you are considering about the speed, right? Speed of delivering the message or your resource to the destination, right? That is the reason actually. The speed, we call it as the data transfer rate. The speed which the data is moving from one place to another place. We call it as the data transfer rate. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ඔය data transfer rate එක තියෙන්නේ megabyte per second. Then you will see that as byte per second, bit per second. Every time the speed which is which is referred to send the data from one location to another location, we call it as a data transfer rate. In the computer network, the key issue is the data transfer rate. When you design any network, when you suggest any network, when you implement a network solution, you should consider the data transfer rate, right? Is it clear? Is it clear, students? Yes, madam.
Yes,
Okay.
madam.
Okay. Okay, now let's see the complete definition of a computer. Actually, computer network, as I said you before, computer network is a collection of computing devices which are interconnected in various ways. I mean, which are interconnected to share the information uh, by a common set of rules. We call it as a protocol over a shared communication medium. Here the word here we use as autonomous computing devices. I mean, the devices should be able to automate by itself, and the devices we connected each other, interconnected each other, should be able to exchange, share the information, and also we are using a shared communication medium. It may be a wired connection or it may be a wireless connection like Wi-Fi. Likewise, the devices should be able to interconnected each other in a computer network. Now let's see why we are using a computer network concept. The communication is developed over the years, and with that, the computing technologies adapted to the communication. මේ අවුරුදු ගාන පුරාවට මේ අවුරුදු පුරාවටම අපි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් කමියුනිකේෂන් එක තමයි අපි දැන් පිටම මට කායික හරි කමියුනිකේට් කරන්න. අපි බලන්නේ අපිට පහසුම සහ වේගවත්ම විදිහ ක්‍රමය හොයාගන්නනේ. ඒ නිසා තමයි මේ කමියුනිකේෂන් කියන එකට computing technologies bind වෙලා computer networks introduce කරලා තියෙනවා. Now let's see the network connection type. If you want to connect two or more devices together, there are two ways. අපි දැන් හිතමු මට ඕනේ computing devices කීපයක් connect කරන්න, සම්බන්ධ කරන්න. ඒකට ක්‍රම දෙකක් තියෙනවා. පළවෙනි එක තමයි point to point connection. We call it as point to point connection. Point to point means there is only dedicated connection between devices. Now we have, I took this example. We have 4 computers, right? Point to point කියන්නේ, if this device wants to communicate with this B device, there should be a dedicated line, dedicated link. වෙන් වෙච්ච link එකක් තියෙනවා. මේ link එක පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ to communicate between A and B only. So we call it as point to point connection. Now let's say this B wants to communicate with the C. Can we? Can we? Can we connect B and C together? Students, what do you think? Can we connect B and C together? Can't, because the A and B are linked together using a dedicated link. Dedicated link එකක් තියෙන එක අපිට change කරන්න බෑ. හරි? The entire capacity of the link is used for the transmission. දැන් අපි හිතමු මෙන්න මේ line එක දිගේ speed එක 100 Mbps කියලා. speed එක. ඒ සම්පූර්ණ speed එක පාවිච්චි කරනවා අපි A වල ඉඳන් B වලට මොනවා හරි transmit කරද්දි. Entire capacity, entire speed will be used. Right? Is it clear, students? Is it clear?
Yes, madam.
Now let's see the multi-point connection. I'm using a different diagram here. Let's say this is a middle device, right? I think some of you may know I use the device as switch. Some of you may know, other people may not know, but we'll learn it in future. Let's say I'm using a middle device and I connected several computers together. In the multi-point connection, actually, if you want to connect your computer with another computer, actually in your computer, you only have one port, right? One port. That's why I draw this diagram. The thing is, when you search the internet, you will find a lot of incorrect diagrams in the computer networks, right? Now let's see the multi-point connection. In the multi-point connection, the device, let's say this device B wants to communicate with all other devices simultaneously. එකම වෙලාවෙ මෙයාට ඕන අනිත් හැමෝත් එකම communicate කරන්න. It can be done, right? In the multi-point connection, it can be done. So let's say this B has a message and it needs to forward to other devices. So simply B send the message to switch and switch send the message to all other devices simultaneously. In the multi-point connection, a device can communicate with others parallelly. එකම වෙලාවෙදි communicate කරන්න පුළුවන්. Right? Is it clear? Is it clear? Yes, ma'am. Okay. Now, okay. Now let's see the advantages of computer network. Actually, using the computer network, we can share the information with others in a speed way, efficiently, and with the short time period, we can share the information. And also, the users or the network devices, simply we can add and remove anytime. And also there's a path to send the information. So we can apply the security mechanisms to protect the information. Likewise, we can have several benefits from a computer network. Here, the benefits are highlighted. Let's see one by one. First one, information sharing. The first one is information sharing. That means in a computer network, authorized users can share the information with the others. It may be sharing databases, it may be sharing files. Only authorized people can share the information, right? Second one is hardware sharing. Now let's say we have a printer. In our department, we have 5 computers, but we have only one printer. Now the printer can be shared by other devices. Right? Network එක හරහා අපිට පුළුවන් එකම printer හැමෝටම connect වෙන්න පුළුවන්. That's why we call it as hardware sharing. Third one is software sharing. Now, let's say in our department, we have 5 computers and we keep one computer as a server and we can install all the softwares there. Other computers can access through the network and share the software. Next one, collaborative environment. If the several devices are connected together, easily they can complete tasks as group, right? If you have any question, you can ask. මොනවාරි ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවා නම් අහන්න. Okay, now let's see. With the benefits, we can face too many risks as well. වාසි තියනවා වගේම ලාභ ප්‍රයෝජන තියනවා වගේම අවදානමකුත් තියෙනවා computer networks වලදී අපි හරියට security mechanisms apply නොකරොත්. Now let's see what are the risks, major risks we can find, right? First one, equipment malfunction. සමහරක් වෙලාවට now let's say you are sharing, there are 5 computers which are connected to each other. Now they share some information. When they share information, let's say one device is broken. Device එකක් මොකක් හරි කැඩුනා හරි එක device connect වෙන wire එකක් කැඩුනා හරි වුණොත් සම්පූර්ණ network එකේ සමහරක් වෙලාවට down වෙන්න පුළුවන්. අපි හරියට configure එහෙම නැත්නම් network එක design කරලා නැතිව. Next one is system failures. And sometimes there may be system failures due to natural disasters. Then අපි හිතමු we keep our database in a server and other devices are connected to the server. If there's any malfunction or failure in the server, the whole network will be affected by itself. And also there may be risks from computer hackers. Hackers ලා කියන්නේ unauthorized කට්ටිය අපේ network එකට එහෙම නැත්නම් අපේ data access කරන හඳුනා නොගත් පුද්ගලයන්ට තමයි අපි hackers ලා කියන්නේ. Then there may be virus attacks as well. So if you apply the security mechanisms properly, we can avoid these risks. Okay, up to this point, if you have any question, you can answer. Are there any questions? Up to this point, we learn what is the data communication, what are the basic terms in the data communication, and computer networks, benefits and risks in the computer network. So with this point, the next point, it's very important. Now let's say you are going to implement a network solution for a company, for an organization, for any place. When you implement the solution, these factors should be considered. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අපි ඕනම තැනකට network solution එකක් suggest කරද්දී අපි සැලකිල්ලට ගන්න main factors ටික තමයි මේ. Let's see one by one, right? First one, performance. Now, usually performance can be measured in different ways. Sometimes we can consider the performance based on the data transfer rate, the speed which the medium uses to transfer the data between devices. We can measure, using it, we can measure the performance. And also we can measure the performance using efficiency of software and the number of users, capability of connected hardware, likewise, right? Every time performance means the capability of sharing the information between devices, right? සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අපි network solution එකක් implement කරද්දී අපි කල්පනා කරනවා අපිට කොච්චර speed එකක් ඕනද, කොච්චර bandwidth එකක් අපි purchase කරනවද, ඊළඟට අපේ devices වල තියෙන software වල efficiency එක කොහොමද, අපේ network එකේ users කී දෙනෙක් ඉන්නවද, devices කීයක් තියෙනවද, අනාගතයේ devices කීයක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්, සහ hardware වල capability එක කොහොමද, මේ දේවල් අපි කල්පනා කරන්න ඕනේ. Next one is reliability. දැන් අපි මෙහෙම හිතමු. Now let's say you are going to suggest a system for a given scenario. Then ඔයාට කවුරු හරි system එකක් හදන්න කියලා. You should think how we maintain, right? කොහොමද ඒක maintain කරන්න කියලා හිතන්න ඕන. ඒ වගේ තමයි මේ networking වලදී දැන් network solution එක අපි හිතමු client බාර දුන්නා කියලා. එතකොට මොනවා හරි ඕනම වෙලාවක network එක down වුණොත් ඇයි down වුනේ කියන එක හොයන්න පුළුවන් වෙනවා. Right? We call it as the reliability. If there's any network failure, you should be able to find it easily. We can achieve the reliability using a proper network diagram, right? අපි සාමාන්‍ය reliable වෙන්න නම් හරි විදිහට diagram එක අඳිනවා. හරි විදිහට devices connect කරනවා. මේ physical arrangement එකෙන් තමයි අපි reliability එක make sure කරගන්නේ. Next one is security. This refers to protection of data from unauthorized user or access. To prevent the unauthorized login or to prevent unauthorized access, you should apply several security mechanisms with the security solution. Sorry, with the network solution. Another one is scalability. Final one is scalability. That means if the client want to client wants to expand the network in future. Then අපි හිතමු ඔයාගේ client ඕන වෙනවා දැන්ට තියෙන computer 50යි. තව අවුරුදු 6කින් computer 100ක් දක්වා expand කරන්න ඕන වෙනවා network එක. So the current solution should support for that. ඔයා දෙන solution එක දැන්නේ දෙන්නේ. ඒක ඉදිරියේ ඒ කියන්නේ තවත් ඒක network එක තව විශාල කරද්දී කරන්න පුළුවන් හැකියාවක් තියෙන්න ඕන. Right? These are the factors you should consider when suggesting a computer network solution. If you have any question, you can ask. You can apply this concept at the second formative assessment, right? When you prepare the solution for the second formative assessment, you can find how you can achieve each factor individually, right? Is it clear up to this point? Okay. Next one is computer network architecture. Now, when you suggest any solution, any network solution, it is like suggesting a design. Samanya network solution එකකදී මුලින්ම අපි suggest කරන්නේ design එක. So the design can be in two ways. We can have physical design as well as logical design. කොහොමද computers එකිනෙකාට connect වෙන්නේ කියන එකට අදාළව diagram එකක් තමයි මේ design එකක් කියන්නේ. Logical design එකක් අපි කරන්න නම් අපි සමහරක් වෙලාවට එක එක ජාතිය softwares use කරනවා. For the logical design, we are using packet tracer, likewise. Those kind of software you can use, or else you can draw the diagram manually by hand. And the physical design means real design, real implementation, right? Real architecture of the computer network. Basically, there are two types of network architectures. First one is peer-to-peer, second one is client-server network architecture. Let's see one by one. Peer-to-peer network means all the computers are linking each other, and they use the same speed, and they have same responsibility to share the information. I'll show one example. Now let's say we have five. I'm drawing actually incorrect diagram, right? Incorrect means this type of diagram actually you cannot implement. In the real-time environment, you cannot implement. That's why I say it as incorrect. So let's say the peer-to-peer means every computer is connected with another computer separately. Right? Right? Peer-to-peer means every computer is connected with another computer separately. And also they use the same speed. Then each line, each connection has the same speed. And each connection has the same authority. let's say I want to give privilege for all path to share the information. So they can, because the responsibility or the privilege they have is equal, right? Usually we use peer-to-peer network architecture for small environment, like if we have 2 computers, we can use peer-to-peer. In the peer-to-peer network, there's no server. Everyone act as a client and they share the information. So do you know the meaning of the client and the server, students? Do you know the meaning of the server and the client? Server එකක් කියන්නේ කවුද? Client device එකක් කියන්නේ කවුද කියලා දන්නවද? දරුවනේ දැන් අපි හිතමු මෙහෙමයි. I'll show one example. මෙහෙම හිතමු. I'm taking a simple example. Now there are 2 people, right? There are 2 people. And this person, let's say there is person A and this is person B. This person is like a student. This person is like a teacher. Now, if let's say the student has a problem regarding a particular subject area. He has problem and he requests some answers from the teacher, requesting. Now the teacher will provide the answers. Now let me know who is the person who is requesting services, A or B. කවුද service එක request කරන කෙනා? Information request කරන කවුද? A ද B ද? Yes, it's A. Yes. The person or the device which is requesting the services, we call that device or the person as a client. The client කෙනෙක් කියන්නේ එහෙම කෙනෙක්. එයා service එක ඉල්ලන කෙනා. Information ඉල්ලන කෙනා. Right? The person or the device which is providing the service. Here, who is the person who is providing the services? කවුද service එක දෙන කෙනා? A or B?
B.
Yes, B. We can call the person or the device who is providing the service. We can call that device as the server. Right? In the peer-to-peer network, actually there's no dedicated server because everyone is sharing the information, everyone is receiving the information likewise, right? Then there's no dedicated server. Is it clear? Now let's move to the client server network architecture. In the client-server network architecture, we have a server. It's like a central controller of the network, entire network. That device will share the information with the others, and that device will keep the information instead of the others. That is the device which is managing all the resources in the client-server network architecture. Let's draw a diagram. So this is the server. Again, server is a computer, right? It is connected to the switch. And all the end devices, all the clients, these are clients, all the clients get the services from this server. When you compare the client-server architecture with the peer-to-peer network architecture, the benefit of the client-server architecture is we can keep a device which has highest performance as a server. සාමාන්‍ය client-server network architecture එකේදී අපිට පුළුවන් performance වැඩි device එකක් තියාගන්න පුළුවන් server එකක් විදියට. සහ client devices වල එච්චර performance අදාළ වෙන්නේ නැහැ. හැබැයි peer to peer network architecture එකේදී එහෙම නැහැ. මොකද හැමෝටම තියෙන equal privilege. So we want to purchase the devices which has the equal performances, right? Now let's see the advantages and disadvantages of peer-to-peer network. Peer-to-peer network is very cheap because we do not want to maintain a dedicated server. But if one computer stops working, let me know. If one computer is stopped working, will it affect for the other computers in the peer-to-peer? එක computer එකක් වැඩ කරන එක නැවතුවා. ඒක අනිත් අයට බලපානවද peer-to-peer එකේදී?
No.
නෑ. හේතුව අපි එක්කෙනාට එක්කෙනා වෙන වෙනම connect කරලා තියෙන්නේ. හරි? ඒ වගේම easily manage කරන්න පුළුවන්. මොකද පොඩි ඒ කියන්නේ එක්කෙනාට එක්කෙනා වෙන වෙනම අපි connect කරලා තියෙන්නේ. ඊළඟට dedicated line වලින් තමයි වෙන වෙනම information share කරන්නේ. ඒ නිසා it is easy to manage. When it comes to the disadvantages, the main problem in the peer-to-peer network is we cannot keep a centralized database because every device is acting like a client or the host. So we do not want to keep a centralized database. And if we want to apply some protection mechanism for the security purposes, again we have to apply it one by one. දැන් අපිට security එක ගැන හිතලා මොනවා හරි protection mechanism apply කරන්න වුණොත් device එකකින් device එකට එකට apply කරන්න වෙනවා මේ peer to peer network architecture එකේ. හරි? But in the client server, now this is an example for the client server. We have a server and we have a server and these are the clients. We can apply several security mechanisms to protect the data communication between clients and servers in the client-server network architecture. Right? The main advantage of the client-server network is we can keep all the files, all the databases, all the information in the server. So we can keep the performance of the server as the highest rate. And if we want to apply any security mechanism, we can apply it in the server, in the client-server network architecture. And the disadvantage is, if we maintain a server, it's very expensive. And the server should have the network operating systems. That means in your computers, you are using operating systems, no? Like Windows, Linux, likewise. But if we keep a server separately, we should purchase network operating systems. Otherwise, it will not connect with the clients. සාමාන්‍ය දැන් කම්පියුටර් එකේ ඉන්ස්ටෝල් කරන operating system Windows desktop version. හැබැයි අපි server එකක් maintain කරනවා නම් ඒ server එකේ තියෙන operating system එක network operating system එකක් වෙන්න ඕන. Otherwise, it will not provide the services, provide the resources to the clients. Right? If you have any question regarding peer-to-peer or client-server network architecture, you can ask. දරුවනේ client server architecture ගැන peer to peer architecture ගැන මොනවා හරි ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවා නම් අහන්න පුළුවන්. Okay, I'm moving forward. Okay, we have discussed the data communication terms, actually basic terms of computer networks today. And also we discussed the factors you should consider when installing a computer network. With that, we discussed about the network architectures as well. And if you have any question, you can ask. මොනවා හරි ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවා නම් අහන්න. No questions? Students, now the thing is, if you have any question, you can ask. The thing is, I'll put the link to install a software. The software name is Packet Tracer. Before next week starts, please install that software in your computer, right?